hovering in the hand inserts. Also on the down, we don't want to flip it over. Okay? Okay? We don't want this. Okay? Now some people will teach it that, and it's not that you don't want to do it because I say you don't want to do it. Okay? It's because I'm going to show you why, and you can see for yourself which is going to make more sense to you. We use our logical brain, and we can determine the difference between good and bad quality just by breaking the movement down. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is from here, I want to get it back to here. Okay, so if I throw it over, overcomplicating. For one thing, my grip is already working here. My grip is already working against that downward pull. So my grip starts fighting the downward gravitational pull. Okay? So that's one problem. Okay? You'll find that if you simply turn your palm up, the grip doesn't have to work as hard. Okay? Instead of the grip starting to work here, fatiguing it sooner, if I turn my palm, the grip's relaxed, and then it does require more coordination, but once you get the movement, it's just pulling back. Okay? So for one thing, you're conserving your grip by doing that. For the other thing, you're shortening the range of motion, so you decelerate the bell. If I start the drop from here, it's going to be moving very fast by the time it gets to the bottom. If I start the drop from here, it's not going to be moving as fast, which means it's not going to put as much friction in your grip. Okay, so see the difference? From here, that's where the grip is already working. If I turn my palm up, it doesn't start till here, and my grip is relaxed, and then I just have, okay? So you want to actually turn the palm up and just reposition the fingers, okay, instead of doing this. All right? So that's one point. The other point is that keep in mind that whatever habits you develop with single kettlebell, you're going to carry over into the double kettlebell, but now you're working with twice as much load and half as much mobility. So it's going to be a lot more difficult. Okay? If I throw the kettlebell over and I have a respectable load, what's going to happen is you're creating this big arc, and it's going to tend to pull you. So at the bottom of the movement, your back is going to be really loaded here. So you're going to really fatigue your back very quickly. Okay? So if I have, for example, double kettlebells, if I throw over, okay, it's basically pulling me, and I have a decent amount of weight here accelerating. So it's going to use a lot of energy to try to control that. Okay? So I don't want to create this big arc. I want to tame the arc. Okay? I want to keep it more closer to the body. Okay? So what's the difference? First, this is what we don't want. Okay, big range of motion. We want more like this. Okay, so we don't want this. Okay, we want vertical. Okay, so what we have to be aware of is that two objects cannot occupy the same space at the same time. Okay? So that means we have to prioritize, and the kettlebell always has the priority, not you. Okay? You yield to the kettlebell does not yield to you. So when we talk about the center line of the movement, the kettlebell controls the center line, not you. If I keep my body really rigid, I'm not budging, kettlebell has to move around me. Okay? So the kettlebell has to make this big movement. Instead, keep my body more flexible. The kettlebell gets the center line. My body moves. So the kettlebell has the vertical. Okay? So in the drop, I don't push the kettlebell away from my body. I push my body away from the kettlebell. Okay? So it's not this, it's this. I push my body away from the kettlebell so the kettlebell stays on the center line, rather than my body came on the center line and the kettlebell has to come off. Okay? So there's a good drill to reinforce that, is You're going to do this against the wall. Your arms are against your body, like you have a kettlebell in each hand. Okay? Now, from here, my arms against my body, I need to push. I'm pushing the wall. Okay? The wall's not going to go anywhere. So I need to get my arms straight, which means I have to push my body away from the wall until my arms are straight. So I push my body away from the wall until my arms are straight. Okay? And that's also going to help to increase the flexibility of your spine and your hip flexors, which are going to be crucial to optimize your performance. So try a set of 5, and then if you're able to get your arms straight, you're going to move your feet a little bit closer.